Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to our supplemental video. So this time we are now in the week 5 or lesson 5 of the quality process, and today's topic we will be discussing about the book borrowing and lending policy. Okay, so we are now in the last week of the module or your lesson in prelim. Okay, and I would like to remind you that your exam for prelim will be on September 20 to 24. And another reminder is please complete all your requirements before taking the exam because sa akin kasi I will not allow students who are not yet done or incomplete pa yung mga requirements nila bago sila mag-exam. So kailangan is kompletuhin nyo muna yung mga requirements ninyo kasi yun yung parang maging a passport ninyo to take the prelim examination. Okay? Ayan. So, another thing is for those students who are not yet submitted the requirements, please submit all your requirements or yung mga hindi nyo pa na-submit na mga requirements. Okay? Para sa ganun ay maiwasan natin yung matambakan, yung madaganan ng madaming requirements. So, iniiwasan ko kasi na ma-encounter ulit yung what happened last semester or last year na na hindi kami naging stricto masyado sa requirements. Ang nangyari is nagkampante, nag-relax or naging chill yung mga student, tapos ang nangyari ay natambakan sila tapos tinamad sila. So yun yung iniiwasan natin, okay? So yan. And of course, uh, every time you watch or listen to our video supplement, please have with you your module, yung printed module na meron sa inyo, kasi that would serve as your guide during the while you are listening or watching our supplemental video. Okay? So yan. And if you are not yet member of the group chat or dun sa GC natin, please i-message nyo ako, or if you know someone that is not yet member of the GC, which is classmate nyo dito sa subject na ito, please add them or add him or her dito sa my GC natin or group chat natin. So, kailangan maging member kayo or importante na maging member kayo kasi nga dito sa GC na ito, dito ako nag-disseminate ng information, ng mga updates, and dito din ako nag-send ng mga links, okay? And yung link na yon is a link of the supplemental video. So, that would be your access dun sa YouTube channel namin, wherein yung YouTube channel namin is andun na lahat, uploaded na lahat yung mga supplemental video. So, kailangan, if you have time, if you are not that busy, sana man lang is masacrifice nyo yung time nyo to watch or listen to our supplemental video. Kasi nga, it's really a big help for you guys to understand better the module na meron sa inyo. So, sana uh, ko- panoorin nyo or pakinggan nyo yung mga recorded video supplement na ito. Okay? So, yan. And another thing is I already created or a Google Classroom. So, yung mga student na hindi pa member or hindi pa nakasalid, naka-join dun sa Google Classroom natin, please mag-join na kayo. I already send the link and the class code of our Google Classroom. So, quality process ha, baka kasi iba yung mapasukan yung Google Classroom. Okay? So, yan. So, andun na lahat dun sa Google Classroom natin is andun na lahat yung mga soft copy ng mga module ninyo, and of course, yung mga requirements ninyo. And for those student na hindi pa makapunta sa school at kailangan mag-submit dun sa due date, is pwede nyong i-upload or pwede kayong mag-send through the Google Classroom. So all you have to do is take a clear photo or picture of your requirements or your activity. So, kailangan nakalagay pa rin siya sa yellow paper. Then, you will going to upload it on the Google Classroom. Okay? So, keep those hard copy of your requirements, yung mga sagot nyo. Kasi nga, I am going to collect that one. I am going to collect all of those requirements before you take the prelim examination or any exams. Okay? So, yan. And yan, so ulitin ko lang na your exam for examination will be on September 20 to 24. Okay? So yan. So kailangan kumpletuhin nyo muna yung mga requirements ninyo bago kayo i-allow na mag-exam. Okay? Yan. So today, as I said a while ago, is we will be discussing about the book borrowing and lending policy. Okay, so again, welcome, and welcome to our supplemental video. So today's learning objectives. So at the end of the lesson, you will be able to set standards for simple application to compute overdue, create an application for book borrowing and lending policy using PHP, and analyze the sample script code of book borrowing and lending policy and apply the same on given activity. Okay, so actually, today's topic we will be focusing on how to create a program or a simple program of book borrowing and lending policy. So napansin ko dito sa lesson natin is, anyway, hindi kasi ako yung gumawa ng lesson. So, kukontinue ko lang siya. So, si Sir Hensel Wanawan, our former IT instructor dati. So, nag-focus siya sa book borrowing, especially on the policies and how is the policies and how to borrow a book. So, ang ginamit niyang sample, nag-focus siya dun sa University of Baguio, kung ano yung mga rules nila on how to borrow and how to return and kung ano yung mga policy nila when it comes to borrowing and returning a book. Okay? So, yan. So yan. So, let's start with our topic. So, yan. So, feeling ko naman, meron na kayong idea. Tama ako, di ba? So, meron na kayong idea on how what is the process on how to borrow and how to return a book and of course, yung mga policies. Kasi feeling ko naman, before dun sa start pa lang ng classes natin is I think na-include naman yung yung orientation about the library policy. So feeling ko is na orient kayo ni Ma'am Andrea about this one. So ang gagawin ko is i-connect ko yung topic nyo. Yeah, kasi si Sir Wanawan kasi nag-focus siya sa University of Baguio. So let's try let's try to know kung ano yung mga similarities natin dun sa policy ng Baguio. Okay? So yan. So alam ko na may idea na kayo when it comes to borrowing kasi nga 'di ba nagba-borrow naman kayo ng book dito sa library and syempre nagre-return kayo and alam niyo yung mga policy. Okay? So ganun din yung may mga pagkakapareho din na proseso. So so depende kasi 'yon kung ano yung gagamitin mong library policy. Like si Sir Wanawan nag-focus siya dito sa topic natin ngayon is nag-focus tayo dun sa UB or University of Baguio. Okay? So yun, so magkaiba siguro or may mga pagkakapareho yung book borrowing nila doon or policy nila dito sa school natin. Okay? So book borrowing. So kailangan ko pa bang i-define? So, book borrowing is simply yung pagbaborrow ng libro, di ba? So, you will going to borrow a book and then pagka isa-set nila kung ilang days, tapos pagka nalagpasan mo yung days, yung overdue date is, syempre magkakaroon yan ng penalty. Okay, so here are some materials and requirements that should be obtained doon sa pagbaborrow ng book sa University of Baguio. Okay, so first is all currently enrolled at University of Baguio faculty, administration, and staff has borrowing privileges. So, ibig sabihin, hindi lang yung kayo yung may karapatang mag-borrow ng book. So, baka kasi isipin nyo na porket teacher kami dito or porket teacher kami is hindi na kami nagbaborrow ng book or hindi din kami nag-overdue. So, same policy apply din sa amin or sa inyo. Okay, so walang pinagkaiba yan. So, yung pinagkaiba lang siguro, mas extended yung day kung kung ilang days kami pwedeng mag-borrow ng book. Kasi sa feeling ko sa inyo is I think you are given 1 week to borrow or to have you the book. Okay? So yan. So a person's library ID card is used to charge out books and to use reserve items of media or material. So ngayon, ang ginagawa namin if you are a new student here in the CIAC is we will going to issue you a card, yeah, a library card which will be you will going to use that one hanggang sa mag-graduate kayo. So pagka na na how do you call that one? Nawala ninyo, mag-i-issue pa rin kami pero magbabayad kayo. Okay? So yan. So, lost ID card must be replaced by school but should also be reported to the library to prevent unauthorized use. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pag nawala nyo yung library card, you will going to report that one to the school librarian or academic librarian. Okay? Para sa ganun ay mabigyan niya kaya ma-replace niya yung library card ninyo. Okay, so yung library card pala is, sabi dito kasi is media material. So, ibig sabihin is hindi lang siya pang book ha guys. So, as you can see naman dito sa library natin, we have our internet library, ano ba tawag doon? Internet access dito or internet, parang pwede kayong mag-internet dito. Then, pwede siyang gamitin, yeah, pwede siyang gamitin the whole year. Okay? So, every year is, every SEM, tama ba? Is meron kayong number of hours na kailangan i-consume. So, yan. So, meron tayong internet access din dito sa library. Okay? And all alumni of the University of Baguio have borrowing privilege for books and should register at the circulation desk to obtain a library card. When registering, alumni must provide some of sort of photo ID. So, sa University of Baguio, they allow alumni to borrow a book. Pero, okay, so pero ang ginagawa nila, so kailangan mag-register muna yung alumni and siya kailangan mag-provide siya ng photo ID niya or picture niya. Okay? So, hindi ko lang sure, yeah, if pwede dito sa school natin. Pero feeling ko pwede naman kasi may mga former teacher naman na nagbaborrow ng book dito. As long as, how do you call that one, i-update lang nila or mag-register lang sila dito sa library. Okay? So, yan. So that is for the requirements and materials of the book borrowing. Okay, so we have also the lending policy. So the fine of overdue of book is 30 pesos per day. So ibig sabihin, parang kami lang din dito sa library na pag overdue nyo or pag may nalagtan kayong araw, you will going to pay for that per day. So, per day is 30 pesos. So, katulad lang din dito sa library, na sa school library natin dito sa CIAC na pagka hindi mo na ibalik yung libro, every day is, per day is 30 pesos. So, same lang sa mga teachers. Pero hindi counted yung Saturday, Sunday, guys, ha? So, excluded po yung Saturday, Sunday. Okay? So, yan. And of course, this policy is implemented in the campus library. So, in renewing or returning of books, so the borrowers may return their books with the use of their ID by entering the ID number in the book borrowing and lending policy system tab. So what we are doing is, since we do not have yet the library system for, or I mean a system for book borrowing and lending policy, is ang ginagawa namin is yun, medyo nagmamanual muna kami. So ang kailangan lang namin is ang kailangan lang namin is yung ID card, ay library card ninyo. Instead sa, compared dun sa Baguio, kasi sa University of Baguio, they are using the ID number of the student or student ID number. So dito is, we are using the library card, yan. So, pwede nyong i-return yung book and pwede nyo rin siyang, or renew yung book. So, when you say renew is, kunwari due date niya kahapon, ay ngayon, pwede nyong i-renew yung book ngayon, then another 1 week na naman. Okay? Na pwede nyong hiramin yung libro. Okay, so, book drops for returns are located on the front of the circulum desk. So, all materials must be returned and fines settled prior to graduation. So, kailangan ma-settled ninyo lahat ng mga fines ninyo. Kaya nga meron tayong school clearance, di ba? So, nag-clearance muna kayo. So, kailangan ma-settle nyo lahat yung mga kailangan i-settle ninyo before kayo mag-graduate. So, kung mayroon kayong overdue or meron kayong utang dun sa library, so kailangan i-settle nyo muna yon before kayong mag-graduate. So, same lang din naman dito. So, lahat naman ng school, feeling ko naman lahat naman ng school, they have their school clearance. Okay, so we have scope of borrowing and lending policy. So, when you say scope, yung hanggang saan, di ba? So, the following are the scope of book borrowing and lending policy. So, A, for letter A, this application will only evaluate the borrowed book. Okay. And next is, if the borrowed books were returned after the due date, the application will automatically compute the fine incurred by the borrower at 30 pesos per day. Okay? So, yan. And the only things, yun kasi yung maganda pagka naka-system ka, di ba? Pagka in-input mo yung return date niya is pag na-evaluate niya sana na due date niya, na due date siya, so automatically na magko-compute yung fine niya dun sa due date niya. Okay? So yan. So the only things this application can do is to calculate the overdue of each book per day. So ibig sabihin, ito lang itong, hindi siya library system na as in buong system ha. Ito kasi is application lang siya na for book borrowing and lending policy lang. Okay? So, hindi siya yung as in sobrang luwang na system na search niya kung available yung book or na borrowed yung book. Hindi. So, focus lang ito sa pagbaborrow and pagle-lend ng pagbaborrow ng libro. At saka yung computation ng overdue of each book per day. Okay? So, to validate the transaction, there is a need to enter the following. So, for example, borrower's library ID number and accession number of the borrowed book. So, yan. So, kailangan para ma-validate yung transaction, yan, para ma-validate yung transaction is kailangan i-enter mo yung library or borrower's library number tsaka yung accession number ng libro. Okay, so ganun din yung ginagawa namin pag nagbaborrow kayo is, of course, since nagmamanual tayo dito sa library, so ang ginagawa namin is chine-check namin dun sa may logbook namin. Chine-check namin kung tama ba yung accession number, ganito, ganyan. So, dun sa library, dito kasi sa may book borrowing na ito, is ang kailangan mo lang i-input is only the ID number or the library ID number and then the accession number. Okay, so yun. Okay, so yan. So you have also here the steps in borrowing and lending policy. So, steps in book borrowing and lending policy. So, first, so kailangan yung student must present his borrower's card and book to the counter. So, kailangan, so, meron yung ibang school kasi na may mga may mga nagwo-work doon sa mga kunwari mga working student, tapos they are the one to find the book, parang gano'n. Pero dito kasi sa library natin, since hindi naman siya gano'n as in kaluwang, is 'di ba, you can you will be the one to find the book, and then if you want to borrow that book, you will going to present your library card. At the same time is i-present mo yung libro na ibaborrow mo. Okay, so ang gagawin naman is next is i-enter niya yung borrower's ID number, and then i-enter niya and yung book ID in the book borrowing and lending policy applications. So yan. So next, so when the needed information has been entered dun sa system, so meron siyang dialog box na magpapakita. So date borrowed and return will pop up on the screen. So, i-enter the borrowing date. So, i-enter niya yung kung kailan niya binarrow yung libro or hiniram yung libro na yon. Then when return, enter the returning date of the book. So, after mo na ma-enter yung borrowing date niya or kung kailan niya hiniram yung libro, i-enter mo din kung kailan niya ibabalik yung libro. Okay? So, yan. So, the system then display whether the book is overdue or not. So if it's overdue, the student is subject to fine 30 pesos per day. Okay? So next, the student will proceed to accounting office for payment of dues. So yun. So yun din yung ginagawa natin na pag na-fine ka dun sa libro, you will going to pay your due fines. Tama ba? Or yeah, doon sa may or fines doon sa may register natin kay Sir Rexel. Hindi po pwede dito sa library na magbayad. So, always doon sa registrar or doon sa accounting office. So, after paying the dues, the student will receive a receipt from the accounting office. And lastly, the student will go back to library at kailangan i-present niya yung receipt and para ma-retrieve yung borrower's ID or borrower's card niya or library card niya. Okay? So, yun lang. So, feeling ko naman magkakapareho naman yung proseso. Ang pagkakaiba lang is gumagamit sila ng machine or computer machine para maging mabilis yung trabaho. Pero since bagay niya lang yan sa mga talagang university na talagang madaming student. But since hindi naman tayo ganun ka-big school, so okay lang yon. So yan. Okay, so next is, okay, so we have here the ID number. So yan. Itong book borrowing, yan. Here is the book borrowing and lending policy application input. So, itong sample program for book borrowing and lending policy application. So, this program automatically is kinocompute niya yung total fines of overdue pagka yung users is in-input niya yung ID number, book title, and tsaka yung date borrowed. Okay, so for example dyan, so ID numbers, you have 2010-298. So for example, book title, Programming 1. Tapos, hiniram niya noong 9/15/20. So, kailangan, date return is, so yung overdue niya dapat is should be 23. Pero nag-return siya noong 25. So, meron siyang 2 days na overdue. So, 2 days times 30 pesos kasi nga 30 pesos per day. That is a total fines of 60 pesos. So, same with the economic and taxation. So, you have 929. Hiniram niya yung 9/20/20. Then, kailangan may balik niya ng 10/01 or the first day of October. Yeah. Pero binalik niya ng 2. So, ang fine niya is 30 pesos kasi 1 day lang. Okay? So, yan. So, yan yung example program. So, yan. Okay, so we have here the script code program. So, here are the PHP script codes of book borrowing and lending policy. Again, you can try this at home pag wala kayong ginagawa para matry ninyo. Yan, para matry ninyo. Anyway, given naman na itong code, so all you have to do is i-follow yung code and copy ninyo, then i-run ninyo. So, for the doc type HTML, so yan. So, same lang naman yung ginagamit natin dyan sa may pinaka-first niya. So, meta name, view, port content, you have the meta name, description content, then meta name, author. So, yung sa may, yan yung pinaka-head niya. For the body naman, is you have there yung, ang magiging body niya is you have the student ID. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na kailangan i-input ng user yung ID number. At the same time is yung book title. And then, date borrowed. Okay? So, yan. So, kung napapansin nyo, required lahat yan. Is kailangan required siya. So, hindi siya magne-next pagka hindi na fill upan lahat. So, parang yung Google Classroom ninyo, 'di ba, pag sumasagot kayo doon, yung sa Google Form is 'di ba may naka-indicate dito sa asterisk na nagre-red siya na required na pagka may hindi kayo sinagutan doon is hindi siya magsa-submit or magto-turn in. So same lang din dito. Okay, so kasi nga ibig sabihin is important details yung mga yun or important information yung mga yon kaya required yung sagutan or required na ma-inputan. Okay? So next. So next, if PHP, if I set, so post, submit, then student, title, borrowed, due date, and date now. So, yan. So later on, papakita ko sa inyo mamaya yung magiging output ng program natin. So, pakiusap ko lang na you can do that at home. Meron naman kayong mga HTML. Then, mas maganda yung gawin ninyo or try nyong gawin sa mga bahay ninyo. Okay? So, yan. So, we have here the sample output. So, for the sample output, for the book borrowing and lending policy, so, ito muna yung makikita nyo na first. So, ID number. So, di ba yan yung na code kanina. So, kailangan yun yung mga importanteng kailangan. So, yung ID number, bakit may ganun pa dito? So, yan. So, yung ID number, you have to input the student ID number. Then, para harikal that one. Para matignan or matignan kung sino yung student na yon. Kasi nga naman, kailangan registered yung students dun sa library system. Okay? Or dun sa borrowing or book borrowing. And book title and yung date borrowed. So, dito sa date borrowed, pwedeng maglagay kayo ng calendar dito. So, kahit hindi ko alam kung combo box ang tawag dyan. Combo box ang alam ko. Pero, meron ding easiest way, which is you will going to put, text box pa rin yan, then maglagay ka lang ng calendar dyan. Pero, yan, combo box kasi yung ginagamit ni Sir Hensel. Okay lang naman siya. Ang ganun lang kasi sa combo box, ang hassle lang kasi pagka yun, kailangan maghanap-hanap ka pa. So, doon kasi sa may date borrowed is click mo lang siya. So, pwede lang naman yan. Okay lang naman. So, it's up to you. Then, you click the submit. So, ito na yung parang kunwari, nag-sample tayo dito na na-fill upan. Yan, fill upan natin na yung student ID number is 2010-298. Tapos yung book title niya is programming 1. Then, date borrowed. So, you have 09, 15, and 20. Then, pag sinubmit na niya, may magpapakita dyan. Yan. Na student number. So, parang re-review mo siya. Date borrowed. Then, return date should be on 23 sana. Pero return date should be on 21 sana. Pero nag-return siya nung 23. So, ang nangyari is, automatically na compute niya yung fines niya, which is 60 pesos. Okay? So, yan. So, that is a sample of a simple borrowing and borrowing procedure. Tama ba? Borrowing a book. Or book borrowing. Okay? Okay, so I think that's it. So, I hope you understand our topic for today. Alam ko medyo mahirap, pero let's try our best para maintindihan nyo, and I am very open, guys, to accommodate you in case na kailangan yung magpatulong hands-on. So the school computer school laboratory, computer laboratory is very open naman sa inyo. So just approach me pag kailangan nyo din para ma-accommodate ko kayo doon sa baba at para matulungan ko din kayo. Okay, and for those who have their laptop at home or computer, you can try this at home. Meron naman na yung given code para mas maintindihan ninyo. Okay? So yan. So I hope you understand, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask me personally or through my messenger. I'm very open naman. Okay? So, yan. So, for your requirements, yan. So, for your requirements, yan. So, for your requirements is, you will going to program the given question, and you will going to save your output in a writable disk and submit to your instructor. So, if you do not have, you can use a flash drive or hard drive, guys, ha? Okay lang sa akin yan. So, create a program that automatically computes the amount of after due date of the electric bill when you input the account number, previous reading, and present reading. Okay, so note that 1 kilowatt is equals to 5.1. Okay, so 1 kilowatt is equivalent to 5.1. Okay, so yan. So, yan yung lalagay nyo dun sa program ninyo. So, yung expected output should be like this. So, account number. So, kailangan yan yung laman niya, account number. Then, you have the previous reading. Then, you have the present reading. Then, pag sinubmit mo na, ang magpapakita is you have account name, electric generation charge. So, account name is you have Ben Papros, sana. Electric generation charge, you have 686.37 pesos. Other charges, 800 pesos. Then, you have total current bill, 1,486.37. Then, surcharge, 50 pesos. Then, total amount after due date is 1,536.37. And yung due date for current bill is you have 9, for example, September 5, 2020. And yung disconnection date is, 1 day. So, masyadong ganun naman tong 1 day. So, pwede nyong palitan yung very close kasi yung 1 day. Siguro, bigyan nyo sila ng 1 week. Ang OA naman pag 1 day. So, you can make it 1 week, guys. Okay? So, yan. So, pwede nyong palitan, 1 week. Yan. Okay, so that's for your requirements or last requirements for this module or for your prelim. And again, I will be expecting you to submit all your requirements anytime this week. Okay, so thank you so much for listening, guys, and I hope that you are watching and listening to our video supplement kasi yun nga, very helpful siya sa topic natin. Okay, so thank you guys for listening, and keep your immune system strong, and kumain kayo ng mga healthy foods. Wear always your face mask or your face shield. Maintain social distancing, and especially sa mga crowded places. Okay, so thank you so much for listening, and God bless us all. Mag-iingat po tayo palagi.